Today I effed up by pretending to be deaf for the entire quarantine. So, 3 months ago or whenever it was that the quarantine started, I started an online course for a few subjects. To provide some background, these aren't my school classes or anything, and I've never met these people before. There are maybe 10 other kids in class, and the teacher is actually pretty great. So the first 2 days go pretty well, but on the third day I F up big time. We were in between a physics class that had already been going on for an hour, and I'd completely gotten distracted halfway through. I have an incredibly low attention span, and this was already too much for me. When the teacher called my name to answer his question, I had no idea what he'd been talking about, so I tried to Google it. However, I have crappy internet, so it took like really long to load, and the teacher was getting pissed as to why I wasn't responding and why I was typing. So, completely freaking out, I decided to text him on the Google Meet chat and make an excuse that my laptop's audio and microphone are not working today, and I've been reading the subtitles, which take quite some time to load, so I hadn't quite gotten his question. In my immense panic, I phrased this somewhat vaguely and said, "I can't actually hear. I've been reading the subtitles, and they take quite some time to load." To which the instructor said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I wasn't aware that you are deaf." In my intense panic and anxiety, I just went along with it. It actually worked out fine. I'd type out all the answers sent to me and even bought a hearing aid that I sometimes wore in class. Now I say sometimes because I don't actually have the focus and commitment to remember to put it on every class. When asked about it, I told the people in class that even with the hearing aid, I can't hear much, so I don't usually bother wearing it. They bought it. Everyone in class likes me a lot now too, and they find me very endearing. There's a girl, Carla, who says I have the most beautiful smile she's ever seen. So this was actually going really well for me. But like most of my antics, this backfired on me big time. When I made this godforsaken decision all that time ago, I was sure I'd get away with it. We were never going to meet in real life. However, about a week ago, the instructor decided to meet in real life as the lockdown in my country has been lifted. I spent all night watching videos of deaf people and trying to figure out how to behave. I decided to pretend to also be completely dumb so I wouldn't have to try to speak like them. It seemed very hard and I didn't want to try. So anyway, we meet up and everything goes well. No one uncovers my secret or anything. I spend the entire in real life meet with Carla, who is completely stunning in real life. She's smart, she's funny, she's kind. We keep handing each other notes on tissue papers and it's the cutest stuff ever. I haven't ever been this attracted to anyone in my entire life. Toward the end of the meet, however, Carla hands me a tissue paper with one little heartbreaking sentence on it. "Will you date me?" Panicking, I tell her I need some time to think, and she's chill with it. I'm supposed to be meeting up with her tomorrow. I can't pretend to be deaf and dumb while dating her, it's impossible, but if I have to keep this charade up, I'll have to let her go, and I don't want to do that either. There's also the other option where I tell her it was all an act. Best case scenario is the extreme embarrassment plus amazing girlfriend, and the worst case scenario is she thinks I'm a jerk and I lose her anyway. Edit, she just texted me what time to pick her up. The date is actually tonight, not tomorrow, so I have way lesser time to make this decision than I expected. I'm like a disaster that keeps on happening. Anyways, you should have an update in about 6 to 7 hours, which is when I'll meet her. Update. So this is the update y'all have been waiting for. I just got back from the date with Carla. So basically I prepared really hard for the date, Googled what the appropriate flowers for apologizing for your lies are, and got her white orchids. I then put on my best clothes and set out. She'd come to the date with a cute little notepad and 2 pencils for us to write notes in, which melted me instantly, but I was so anxious and nervous that at first I couldn't bring myself to tell her. But as we sat waiting for our order to arrive, I kinda snapped cause of guilt and scribbled down into the notebook, "Hey, there's not an easy way to break this, but I'm not actually deaf. Or dumb." To which she replied with, "I know you're not deaf, but you are pretty dumb." At which point I said, "What the F" out loud. She then laughed and explained that she'd thought I was so cute that she'd Googled me long ago and found my Instagram, which has highlighted stories from concerts where I'm screaming and vibing. So she only asked me out to figure out for how long I'd keep it going. So she was actually playing me the whole time. I was feeling pretty bummed that she only wanted to date me for that, but nevertheless I apologized profusely and showed her the Reddit post to explain myself. Best move ever. Thank you so much everyone in the comments who asked me to do this. She found the post funny and cute and adorkable. I told her I totally understand if she wants to end the date now, but she didn't. We had a great time and aren't officially dating or anything, but we did set a second date for next Wednesday. She also told me that while she understands why I did what I did and that anxiety, especially social anxiety, is so hard to deal with, but she also believes that I was a little insensitive, especially with the hearing aid. She explained to me why that was so insensitive, and I'd like to apologize for anyone I might have offended on here. It really wasn't my intention. Also, for our second date, we're planning to volunteer at a center for deaf kids so I can redeem myself. Thank you, Reddit. Y'all might have just got me a girlfriend.